And welcome to our first town hall of the year. As we like to say, or rather, as I like to say, we wish you a happy new year. A bit cheesy, but there you go. It's a good way to start the year. If you're new, welcome to the NEAR ecosystem. If you're coming back, it's great to see you again. Today, I'm going to cover a couple of things. I'm Marieke, by the way, the newly appointed CEO of NEAR, and I'll walk you through an update on NEAR, where we're going and what's coming next. We have three items. As we like to say, or rather, as I like to say, we have three items on our agenda today. We'll have Kevin from Sankore, who will share with us plans for expanding NEAR's footprints into Africa after a very successful start in Kenya. We will have Ozzy and Aureline, who are going to share with us Open Forest Protocol and what they've been doing in terms of creating an open platform to actually help measure transparently and verify refund for reforestation. And last but not least, Illia will share with us what's happening with MetaBUILD, our hackathon, and how you can actually get involved and participate. So before we start, at NEAR, we believe in a world where people can control their asset, their data, and their power of governance. We believe that that is the way to create an open web world, a world where actually everybody can engage and participate, a world where new business models can be created and where creators, developers, and users can be better rewarded. NEAR Techs and actually NEAR ecosystem are fantastic key pillars for helping achieve that mission. And our vision with that mission is to get to billions of users on NEAR. In terms of NEAR technology, we have a best-in-class platform underpinned by the fastest, simplest, and safest safest proof stake one blockchain protocol. It is very simple because for developers and actually end users, it delivers what you can see in Web 2 and actually enables you to do what you could do with Web 3. It's very secure and you can have billions of dollars at stake, and it's extremely scalable, enabling sharding, enabling low transaction fees and fastest finality in the industry. We're the first truly sharded blockchain. We've had 4 shards since late last year, but actually the power of that is whatever changes are happening on that, there will be no change to user experience. And not only that, but we're continuously on a journey to enable and empower our decentralizations and are growing a number of validators. As of now, it's 82, and this will continue to grow and get to 400. In terms of ecosystem and infrastructure, we are linked to major infrastructure players, and there is more that are coming soon and as every day passes. This is what enables us to actually grow and have an ecosystem that is consistently, continuously growing and very rapidly. The tech is the fundamental that enables us to get to where we need to. In terms of numbers, you can see here some of the numbers and actually the acceleration that we've seen. Over 74 million transactions, over 3.5 million of accounts. We have over 200,000 community members. We've had over close to 2,000 monthly builders, over 300 projects, 300 DAOs, and very large volumes of NFT continuously being traded. The ecosystem is growing very rapidly. This is a map. Every day it continuously gets to be refreshed. By the way, if you're a project, please go to awesomenear.com. That's where you can get your project registered, which enables us to actually have that on this map and continuously see the progress of the ecosystem. One part of our ecosystem that is extremely important is active developers, which is a number that we track continuously. And we've been very pleased to see that that numbers continuously grow and is very healthy. Not only that, but some of you may have seen that Electric Capital recently released a report where NEAR has been actually acknowledged to be the 6th largest ecosystem in terms of developers, growing at 4-speed growth, what it used to be before. This chart is a little bit biased because the 5th player ahead of us have been taken out. Nevertheless, again, the message here is that having active developers is extremely important on our platform, and we're making great progress on that. Talking about learning and developers in particular, one thing we continue to develop is our best-in-class education. On NEAR.university, you can come and learn whomever you are, whatever level you are into, coming and learning actually about Web3, NEAR, what it is, what we're building, and actually starting to get and train yourself into building some of the cool projects of the future. So if you're interested, please join the already 5,400 trained people across the globe. And you can also join as being part of our instructor program or one of our teachers. As a foundation, Our role is mainly around 3 pillars to help support that ecosystem and to help continuously make sure that the ecosystem has the support that is needed. Number 1, we are here to help raise awareness. And raising awareness means enabling people to understand what Web3 is. It means enabling people to understand what NEAR is about. It means helping grow and engaging audiences of developers, makers, users, community members, investors, and projects. So that's one of the extremely big pillars that we have here as a foundation. Our second pillar and mission as a NEAR Foundation is to support projects or individuals who are building on NEAR. And what that means is that actually we enable projects to grow and to actually thrive by providing grants, funding, but also coaching and sharing knowledge and resources that we have. And the last but not least, the role of the foundation is also to help provide clear and safe paths to decentralization. And we do that by safeguarding the ecosystem, also engaging proactively in policymaking regulation, but designing what the future of this governance and decentralized model should be. So those are the 3 pillars of what we do as a foundation. Today we have with us 2 projects which are extremely core to what we do and actually shed a great light on what's been happening at NEAR. The first person that we'll have with us present is Kevin. Kevin has built from the ground up Sankore 2.0, starting out of Kenya and with ambitions to actually continue to spread the word of what NEAR is across Africa. And the second part of what we'll have are Ozy and Aureline from Open Forest Protocol, who will share with us their plans to create an open platform to transparently measure, verify, and fund restoration projects on NEAR. Those 2 projects actually are a very good showcase on what NEAR is trying to do in terms of regional footprint, but also as a platform enabling people to build on projects that can be truly transformational. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Kevin to start presenting what Sankore 2.0 is.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Marieke, for giving us this opportunity to talk about what we do at Sankore 2.0 and give a small and quick update. So my name is Kevin Imani, and I'm running Sankore 2.0, which used to be a guild, now transitioning into becoming a regional node here in Kenya. And we're growing fast, so I'm gonna be talking about what we've been doing in the last few months. So for a brief kind of like overview of what we could talk about this presentation is that I'll be discussing best practices of things that we've learned. So this is going to be quite interesting for you guys to see. And also our vision for regional node here in Africa, and specifically also in East Africa and also growing in different regions. We'll be talking about pitch competitions that we're doing. We'll talk about also a roadmap of the near future, and then we'll also be talking about the community growth that we have and our incredible team. So best practices of near meets. So we've been doing near meets. Basically, we've been touring in the last 2 months, I believe, and we've learned a lot. We've seen a lot. We have also ways we know we could improve. So I'll be focusing specifically on one aspect within our best learnings in doing these near meets. So here you see, this is me and really cool students actually in Mombasa, Technical University of Mombasa. And here we were basically activating wallets. So I'm going to be talking about what activations is and what works, what doesn't work, and how you could actually do it better. So really, in short, what activations are is that it is basically an opportunity for your audience that you're looking for to have on your event to be exposed to what you do before getting committed to come to the event, right? So they have questions, they can ask them if they, they want to know more. And, if they don't really want to get too much involved yet, but they really want to see what you do, activations is what you would take as an opportunity to discuss with them. Now, the special thing about activations is that you'll notice that if you do them, and as you do them, you'll realize that those people that you activate will actually come to your event and show up with 10 to 15 friends. So they'll become sort of ambassadors to your organization, and they'll do that committingly. So this is another thing that we notice is that as we were onboarding talents and different community leaders, they became way more committed because they trusted you from back in the activations. So activation is something that you cannot get around. It's a way for you to get on the ground and actually talk to your audience before organizing or telling them to come to the event. What we realize also that doesn't really work as we're doing this activation is that we actually try to activate wallets, and as we're doing them, we were trying to give them an incentive to do that, like a token, basically. We also did well. We activated over 150 wallets, but the only issue is that people interpreted that as free money, and that didn't really attract the kind of audience that we were looking for. So what we started to understand is that we needed to change our incentive mechanism or incentive structure in having our community do something for us, right? And this is also part of how we onboarded our talents. It's ways of thinking about more efficient manners to onboard the talent. Do you use QR codes? We didn't have much of a system at the time, so we noticed that it doesn't really work if you don't have a solid onboarding, method for your audience. So this is something that we really noticed that is quite important, and especially also for developers. We noticed that we were losing as we were talking to developers because we were losing them. I mean, by that I mean they don't really much understand about blockchain, let alone about specific protocols. So it's very important to talk back to the basics, and this is something that we noticed that doesn't work if you were to speak to developers that you think understand blockchain. Most of them don't, but that gives opportunity for I guess the value of coming and teaching about blockchain. Now, how we thought about optimizing, and this is actually an event that happened this week in our pitch competition tour, and I'll talk about it briefly about that as well, is that we're looking for alternative ways to incentivize our audience to do tasks for us. So we developed what we call sort of a bounty, sort of smart contract ecosystem, where people could actually do tasks and in return earn their first nears. And that allows us to already know who's committed, who's engaged, and also have people to do something before earning free money. And that's really important also because then people get to feel that they can actually get rewarded by their skills, which is something that, for example, the Open Web Sandbox has done. So we're trying to replicate a similar model but a smaller scale in here in Africa. Now, I would want to share for the second part of my presentation sort of our vision of a regional node in Africa. So here, really, again, our goal, and this picture was also taken in iHub this week as we were doing a pitch competition tour. We want to integrate projects to solutions in Africa. And this is really important for us. And the question was, how do we do that? So we have three main pillars. One is education. The second one is talent scouting. The third one is project scouting. So talk about education, that we want to implement a developer training centers around really East Africa, where we can actually have developers certified to develop on the NEAR protocol. And we use that with working with the NEAR Academy and also, get them to certified by the instructors that we have. And we want to do that in Kisumu, which is, we actually have a pretty large property, 1.5 acre property that we're renting to do that. We want to do it in Kigali and also in Nairobi. This allows us, again, to grow the developer community that we're looking for. Talent scouting is another really important point. So we're hoping, and we're doing it, to actually have one NEAR meet every month in Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, which is another town in Kenya, Kisumu as well, and Kigali. And this allows us to identify the talent that will be able to jump on the project that we'll onboard. And talk about project, we're sourcing them and scouting them, because again, this is our goal, is to bring projects on the NEAR protocol, which will bring more people on the protocol as well. So this is what we do with the pitch competition, with hoping to also have an agreement with CV Labs. We're working with them as well, and the winners will be able to come and benefit from a 3-month-long incubation program to put them in the best position to apply for a FAST grant. So now I'm going to share with you a short advertisement, which is the gift that I want to show you guys that we have related to the pitch competition tour.
Hello guys, this is Sankore 2.0. Sankore 2.0 is an African-focused community integrating the NEAR blockchain to projects and solutions conceived and built by developers in Africa. The organization is named after Africa's oldest educational institution and aims to help developers make use of NEAR protocol and adopt Web3 technologies. Sankore 2.0 is launching the Pitch Competition Tour PCT in Kenya, Nigeria and South Africa, where developers, marketers, community builders, crypto and forex traders and blockchain enthusiasts will get to benefit and access grants, incubation and mentorship. The Nairobi Pitch Competition Tour PCT is happening in 2 phases. Phase 1 will see project builders, community builders, and investors attend a Zoom webinar to pitch their project and ideas via a Zoom webinar on the January 22nd this year. Phase 2 will comprise of projects shortlisted from the webinar. 10 projects will be picked to pitch physically at the IAB on the January 29th, and stand an opportunity to gain incubation, funding and mentoring by the Sankore 2.0 team. Take your app to the next level with Web3 and NIA protocol.
So this is an advertisement that we had for our pitch competition tour, and it really did well because we've had 7 mentions in local news media, which is another key point in having a regional node is working with news medias, local news medias. So we were mentioned by techmoron.com, which is a relatively big community of tech and startups seen in Africa, African business communities as well, King and Wall Street Journal, which was a pretty big win for us, Bitcoin KE, which has one of the largest crypto readers in the entire continent of Africa, Tech Space Africa, Tech Trends KE as well, Techish has also been, we also mentioned by them. So this is really sort of like, again, if the fact that we are able to identify and focus on these 3 pillars, meaning the education, developing this community of developers, or training this community of developers and growing them. Same thing for the talents, identifying talented individuals that can bring that we can bring onto projects, and also source projects with this pitch competition tour. We believe these 3 pillars really enables you to become a powerful and impactful regional node in Africa. And this respectively also to other areas. So this is, in short, our roadmap to finish up. We have the pitch competition tour that we'll do up till March. We're opening up our developer training center in Kisumu soon as well. Meetups in Mombasa, and then also the bounty ecosystem that we'll develop. So community, we have up to 15 people on our core team, which is incredible, and also 220 members on Telegram right now. This is an incredible team. We have developers, social media managers, event managers, senior advisors, business developers. Incredible team. I'm very happy to work with them. And call to action to finish up is only 2. One is that we want to grow our community, and you can help do this by just following us on Twitter. And the second call to action is, as we're growing our incubation development, we're looking for certified developers to guide our developers in the system, and also expertise in running an incubation program. So that's it for me. I'm actually over time. So thank you for listening. Thank you for I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully either see you on Twitter or see you at the DMs or whatnot. So thank you so much, and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kevin, for that fantastic presentation on Sankore 2.0. It's come a long way in the last couple of months. It's me, Ozymandius, and Aureline. We are representing the Open Forest Protocol. I am the co-founder and chief product officer, and Aureline is a co-founder and chief climate officer.
Hi, everybody.
Today, in this kind of short presentation, we want to do a little bit of a walkthrough of what we're currently building with the Open Forest Protocol. Aureline's then going to go into some kind of screenshot demos of the current status of the different products. And then we're going to talk big picture time frame, roadmap, hiring, and fundraise. So just to kick this off, we always like to clarify that OFP, first and foremost, is bringing refi to near protocol. So refi is regenerative finance. It's right at the intersection of climate and crypto. And what we're aspiring to build with the Open Forest Protocol is a open source forest management system for fully on-chain carbon accreditation, or what is a fully on-chain carbon economy. Now, there is a lot of jargon that tends to go into both industries, crypto and the climate industries. So to simplify this a little bit, just to cut through the jargon, the simple version of what we're hoping to build is a digital infrastructure for forest projects all around the world to tokenize and identify their forest project, send that data to a group of validators, and ultimately monetize it either through the form of a created carbon credit based on the data that they've sent, or through financing from other stakeholders interested in supporting that project. And this is ultimately happening at a time when the whole Earth as a whole, the globe, is trying to plant 1 trillion trees by 2030. So we're right at the beginning of kind of this new industry cluster, and we're hoping to build out now and get off to a fast start. What that means on a more product level is a more sophisticated protocol of on-chain infrastructure that will include, I'll let you guys kind of read through the different facets of it, but the simple version of it is we're building the on-chain infrastructure that will allow for the financing, the validation, and ultimately also the governance of future forest management and carbon accreditation, using all of the great tools that NEAR has to offer. Big shout out to Chrome Cat and Trevor and Mike on that one. With that, I will pass this over to Aureline, and she's going to talk about where we're currently at in terms of our development and some of the fun people we've been talking to.
Indeed. So we just started onboarding forestation projects, validators at the the end of last year, basically. And in November, Fred, so our CEO, went to the COP26 and had very interesting discussions also with countries, so including Kenya, Ivory Coast, Panama, and Malawi. And these countries are interested in using OFP at a national level to monitor their forests. So this is super huge for OFP, and this is also super huge for the planet as we scale trust, transparency in the monitoring of forest. We currently have 15 pilot projects, so forestation projects that are using OFP beta testing our solution. We have 14 validators that we have onboarded for beta testing also. And by mainnet, we plan on having at least 50 projects, so forestation projects, and 20 validators. So validators can be reforestation organization, forestation organization, universities, whoever can monitor and can validate the ground data that is collected. We've just started fundraising also. We already are at about 4 million. And as Mike was saying, for OFP, the goal for 2030 is to monitor at least 20 billion trees. So this can be a huge number, but with the 1 trillion tree initiative, it's totally realistic, and this is where we need to be for the planet.
So bringing us back to kind of where we are now, Aureline's going to go through on a kind of a more detailed level the separate products that we're hoping to bring out this year live in the NEAR ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly. So currently we are building 4 products. They're in beta testing. We have the PO dashboard, which is used by the project operators to register their forestation projects. We have the mobile app, which is called the Forester mobile app, that is used on the field to monitor the trees, collect ground data. We have the validator dashboard, which is used by the validators to verify the legitimacy of the data that is collected on the ground. And finally, we have the Explorer, which is a map-based platform, a more public platform where you can discover all the forestation projects that are registered on OFP. So now I'll go through kind of a flow of how OFP works with the different products that we have. So first of all, we have this project operator dashboard, which is built to be super simple to use, super easy. So to register a project, you put the general information of the project. You also put the project zone. So you either draw it on a map or you upload a file with the geolocation of your forest, and then you add some information about the forest data, and then it's done. What happens next is that an NFT is minted with all the relevant information that you just entered. The next step is the collection of the field data with the mobile app. So as for the dashboard, the mobile app is super easy to use. The field agents that are working on the ground can just see the list of projects that they have to monitor and the list of sampling plots. And basically the sampling plots are where they need to take measurements of the trees. So on the middle image, you can see that sampling plots are green or orange. And when they are orange, this means that data needs to be collected on the ground. Once they have all the data collected, the field agents can just send the data to the PO dashboard, so to the project operator's dashboard, and the project operator dashboard compiles all the data that was collected. You can see the sampling point here, the zone that was monitored, and all the tree data that has been collected on the ground. So the project operator cannot modify this data that was collected. So it's a read-only. We make sure that it's really data that's coming from the ground. Once all the stage report is compiled, this data is sent for validation. And here comes the validator dashboard. And in the validator dashboard, so this is the dashboard that is used by organizations that can verify the ground data that was collected. So they see all the projects for which we need some validation, for which the data needs to be validated. They can select one. They will be able to see the current data that needs to be validated, and also a comparison with the previous data uploads. So they will see increase, for example, in tree diameter, tree height, and so on. And yeah, validators can decide if the data is legitimate or not. And once this data is validated, it's sent on chain, and it's super transparent, visible to anybody on the blockchain, basically. And finally, we have the Explorer, and the Explorer is where you can see all the projects that are registered on OFP. You have a bunch of information. You'll have also all the data uploads of the project, so all the monitoring data. And the Explorer will be linked with most of our products. So for example, the OFP starter. So if you have an investor that is interested in, I don't know, reforestation projects, they can search through it and just invest in the project. So this is one of the example.
So I think that overview, we talk about, that's kind of like the core engine of what we're hoping to build with OFP. But as a protocol-wide solution that we hope to scale over the next 10 to 12 years, there's a lot more that we're building. As Aureline mentioned, the financing platform for a results-based climate finance will allow DeFi plays, NFT projects, and DAOs to connect and fund and also earn from financing these forest projects. Governance model using NIR's own Sputnik V2. Shout out to Illia and Jordan for that, for a really nice custom build out for our own governance platform. And then also the wallet, where you'll ultimately be able to mint and burn carbon credits pending the community's vote on this at sometime later in the year. So kind of going full circle, what we want everyone to know about us is that we're bringing a big refi play to NIR. We're hiring actively. You can join the corpsmen from the community side to help promote us and build alliances in the crypto space. If you're also interested in getting in this space as a product manager or a developer, we have a lot of open positions, and we'd love to bring people in the ecosystem on to strengthen this play. Anything else you want to add, Aureline?
All good. Join us
All
if you're
right.
interested in climate and crypto.
Yeah, thanks everybody. And next up is Illia, the Black Dragon himself. He's going to talk about MetaBUILD and the MetaBUILD Hackathon campaign globally.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here. Happy New Year. And I'll cover the NIR protocol roadmap. Thanks, Marieke, for highlighting kind of some of the advancements we had last year. And obviously, with New Year, there's even more work to do. I would say that first and foremost, the protocol team is focused on stability and performance. And one of the major items in general this year is optimizing single shard performance as well, to making sure that applications that do take single shard and to take a lot of capacity are able to run and perform as fast as possible. On top of that, kind of as promised, right, we've been scaling up the number of validators. We're already at 84, and there's more coming. And the kind of next evolution of that process will be to launch chunk-only producers, which will allow us to have kind of 100 chunk-only producers per shard, and can continue scaling the number of active participants in the network. I would also want to mention kind of recently launched validator staking and farming process. In general, the kind of this process of allowing people to innovate on kind of validator code has been designed from the beginning, right? We've originated that the staking should not be kind of protocol defined, but should be a contract defined and allow people to create new different models. The kind of Aurora launch there first, and I know already a few that are launching afterwards, and I think it's exciting, but I am also excited to see more innovation happening in this space and seeing a lot more different kind of validator contracts. On more longer timeline for this year, we are looking to kind of at least start dynamic resharding. Dynamic resharding is this kind of original concept that as we scale up, as we go to that billion users that we need, there'll be some shards that are congested and some shards that are not used as much. And the idea would be to actually rebalance and increase number of shards dynamically based on the usage of the network. Right now, to do that, there are kind of a governance vote and protocol changes required. And the kind of general idea of sharding and general idea of scalability is to do this automatically. So that is really exciting because that will allow us to kind of continue scaling beyond that. Zero knowledge have been evolving and developing for quite some time now, and it's getting more and more to the level where it is performant and kind of usable for many different applications. We already have kind of initial work on implementing light client zero knowledge. I mean, obviously it's going to take some time to finalize and productionize. That on itself will allow to both speed up protocols like Rainbow Bridge. It will allow to have a wallet, for example, application that verifies the whole blockchain light client in a browser or on your mobile phone. But then beyond that, we see a lot of different applications across the protocol with zero knowledge that can be coming. And then one more thing I wanted to mention is a data storage shards. Generally, it's extremely important to store not just kind of contract data, which is usually pretty small, but actually allow to store large data and be able to process kind of some computation on top of it. And so there's a project called Machina that are kind of looking into how to expand near protocol and add ability to store ideally petabytes and exabytes of data. So look forward to that. So I just wanted to highlight, if you've been here last month, we kicked off the MetaBUILD hackathon. Since then, we actually had over 2,100 people who signed up to build, which is really amazing. And I welcome everyone, but also if you haven't signed up yet, please do. There's a kind of there's $1 million in prizes, and there's many partner challenges, which are super exciting. I think the one specific one, my favorite, is with Brave browser, where if when you don't have internet, you have a dinosaur that runs and jumps over things. And the idea is to pretty much turn it into NFT equipable and maybe add some crypto economics around that. So pretty much turn the thing that you see into a crypto game, and then plug it in ideally back into a Brave browser if it ends up winning the challenge. Obviously, there's a lot of cool other cool challenges that you should check out. There's still 21 days to kind of build and submit. So please, mark your calendar, sign up if you haven't, and don't forget to submit, and check out metabuilddevpost.com for the sign up and for challenges. This is pretty much it on our kind of predetermined program. So thanks, and see you next month. We have some time for questions. So if you want to drop them into the YouTube chat, please do that. And don't forget to sign up for the next month's. You can already do this if you go to near.org town hall. Let me see if there are any exciting questions that people are asking. I think the main thing has been that open source protocol is to drop questions, please do it in English. And based on the chat,